Hello and welcome to Thursdays with Annette. I've got my apron on, I've got the oven preheated, and yes, we're baking today. We're going into book 1, which is my very first cookbook, and we're making a fabulous slice called lemon jelly slice. Now, this is an old favourite. I mean, obviously it's in book 1, but I want to dedicate the show today to my beautiful mum, Faye, who's no longer with us, because this was her recipe. She gave it to me, and then I went in and made a little bit of a healthier tweak to it because it had a little bit of too much butter, a little bit too much sugar, Mum, but it is a family favourite. We loved it, and I'm so glad to offer this recipe to you today because this week the theme was on making something fantastic if you're interested in supporting the greatest morning tea, because it's actually happening next week. And it's a great way to support the Cancer Council and this fabulous fundraiser. So on Tuesday we had brownies, the simple brownies, super easy. If you didn't watch it, you need to go back and check it out. But also today is a fantastic slice. Now, it's very easy to make, of course. All my recipes are. So let's look at the ingredients we need. Sorry, Bill?
Winners.
Oh, the winners. Oh, sorry, he's going with the winners. All right, so last Thursday's show, I'm just excited to get cooking for you. Last Thursday's show, it was the vegetarian week, and I did vegetable lasagna. And we had 3 fabulous winners. We've got Shirley Frederick, Faye May, and the fabulous Tracy Hicks. Hi, Tracy. These gorgeous girls have all got a personally signed copy coming their way. And of course, you know, we'll be giving a book away later in the show. So let's look at what we need. First of all, the oven. Preheated, 200 degrees. It's a quick cook, 15-20 minutes to the base. So I want it hot and fabulous. So 200 degrees fan force. Then we're going to use the Floralite margarine, and we need 90 grams, or how many tablespoons would that be? Well, actually in the book, it's interesting because normally I always do tablespoons, but in this one, because it's the very first one, I actually say half a cup. So 90 grams is how I always do it because it's easy. So we've got 90 grams Floralite margarine. I've got 1/4 cup of white sugar. Now this is for the base, okay? So it's 2 layers. So the margarine, the sugar, we need an egg white and 1/2 cups of self-raising flour and some cooking spray. So that's the base. For the top, we need some lemon juice, some sugar, custard powder, water, and there's a little addition if you've got a really old copy, and I'll tell you about it as we go along. Okay, what I changed it with. All right, so let's get started because I really want to get this in the oven. So then once the base is done, we can go to the topping. And it's one of those ones for any time you want something with a cup of tea. It's fabulous. So I put the plastic on the top because I don't want it to splatter all over my microwave. So I'm going to do this on 70% power for 40 seconds. Okay, so while that's melting, let's do the dry part. So we want the flour and we want to sift it. So 1/2 cups. Thanks for joining me today. If you're just tuning in, we're making lemon jelly slice, dedicated the show to my fabulous mum, who's no longer with us anymore, gorgeous Faye, and this was her original recipe. And it's funny where I get some of my recipes from because I think the oldies are the best.
Someone asked what's fluorite margarine.
It's fluorite margarine. It's Flora margarine. Sorry, I must have been saying it too quick. So it's Floralite margarine. 1/2 cup self-raising, 1/4 cup of sugar. Let's just mix that up. This is how easy this recipe is, I've got to tell you. Let's get the margarine out. And now what we do is we just put the egg white in with the melted margarine and just give it a whisk. I might just move that over there for the minute. So you've done your flour, your sugar, 1 egg white. And you actually, if you don't like lemons, don't worry because you can actually make it, the variation is you could either do passion fruit instead of the lemon, or what I've done in the past is I've actually done half and half. half lemon, half passion fruit. Okay, so as you can see, just mixing that egg white into the Flora-Lite margarine, which was 90 grams. Perfect. Which I'll leave that there. And now what we do is we put the wet into the dry. And that's the ingredients that we need for the base. So just mix that all together. And this is just one of those old-fashioned favourites that I think if you're having an afternoon tea, I think having a bit of citrus is just the way to go with something on the menu. So hello, if you just joined me, I'm making the base to the lemon jelly slice. So excited to make this for you today because it's one that's been in our family for many years. It's even been passed down, and now my mum's great granddaughter, Portia, makes it. All right, so let me just push that to the side for the minute. I want to spray the slab tin. Now, a slab tin, if you haven't, not sure, is 18 by 28 centimetres. So it's like that. And I'm just going to go to the sink because I don't want the spray everywhere. Perfect. Got to have that ready. And with the base, just make sure you've got as much of the flour in, because what we're going to do is we're going to just push it. Now, I'm going to put my gloves on because I can really get in and push it easily without it getting under my nails. I know I'm precious. I know I can't help myself. But you know what? I tend to make the base, get all the ingredients out for making the top, and then I wait until this base is nearly cooked, and then I make the top. Because the jelly, let me put this in my soapy sink, the jelly it's really good if it can go on while it's still hot. All right, so see, I'm just squishing, mushing, spreading, whatever you want to call it. Just make sure it's fairly evenly distributed. Take your time, because often you can get quite a bit in the middle. So we want to share the love around so that everyone's getting a nice bit of the base. I remember my mum used to make this. Another one that she used to love making was a boiled fruit cake. And another one, which, I mean, I love my boiled fruit cakes, as you can tell, I've got them in the books. Another one of Mum's that I kind of copied was the apricot walnut loaf. She used to take that. She was an A-grade tennis player, my Faye was, and she used to take that on tennis days. And we were very excited if there was any left, she'd bring it home for us. Look how easy that is. There's the base. It's pretty basic ingredients too, isn't it? Boom. Now let's put it in the oven. Now remember, it's 200 degrees fan force. I'm going to put it in for 15 minutes and come back and check it just to make sure, because I don't want to overcook it, because it is quite quick. So 15-20 minutes, and I'll show you the base, because I made one ahead so we could finish it off. So see how it's got a nice golden brown look to it? That's what we're looking for with the colour on the base. Okay, so there's the base. What's next? It's time to make the jelly top. All right, so we need half a cup of lemon juice. So where's my little juicer? This is where, get in, get as much of it out. They say that to get more juice out of a lemon or an orange, just microwave it for a few seconds just to get a bit warm. And the other thing is to get there and roll the fruit so that you're getting lots of liquid. And this is a bit of a, you never know what you get slice, because sometimes when you make it, it's really tangy because the lemons were quite bitter. And other times it can be fairly sweet because, you know, the lemons were not so tart. So I reckon you nearly need 2 to 3 lemons. But look at the beautiful juice in these, fabulous. So thanks for joining me today. If you're just tuning in, I'm making lemon jelly slice. It's out of book 1. And as you know, if you've been watching, this is all about my mum today, my gorgeous mum Faye. And you know, she had cancer as well, so it goes appropriate for the biggest morning tea as well. All right, so how am I doing there? Oh my gosh, I'm just a fraction off, so I'm just little squeeze more. Okay, all right, so there's the lemon juice. Now, what do? We need a saucepan. I might actually move this along a bit. How about that? Let's get this over here. All right, so we're going to put in here, we want to put in the water, which was half a cup. We put on a 3/4 cup of water, 3/4 cup of water, half a cup of sugar, and it's the white sugar, and 3 tablespoons of custard powder. Now remember, I'm talking about a 15 ml tablespoon, so that's good. And this is where you get your whisk, blend it all together, and once it's all combined, that's when you put in the lemon juice. All right, so I'm going to turn my my electric on. Let me turn that up a little bit. And it's a good idea to kind of just stir it. And I'm good at that. I'm a really good little stirrer here. Now, years ago, when you used custard powder, it was really yellow. And I found that over time, some of the custard powders were actually quite pale. This one's not too bad, because I actually look for the yellowy sort of colour custard powder. And I don't know, not many people seem to have custard powder much these days. I mean, you watch the cooking shows, they make their own custard. Oh my God, I've never in my life made custard from scratch. I just use custard powder. I'm from old school. But let me show you, it's not in your old version of the book, it's in the new updated one. But to make sure we get it nice and yellow, I actually add in 3 drops of yellow colouring. So I'm going to do that now. 1, 2, 3. There we go. And it'll just give it a little bit more yellow, and I like that because, what's it called? Lemon jelly slice. We want it to look lemony for sure. So now, normally I do this when the slice is nearly ready, and that's why I've already made one ahead. And so you should put this on still hot. Don't make this early on. Make it when the slice is just about cooked or cooked. And then make your jelly slice to go on top. And you just, as you see, you just stir it until it boils and then pour it over the top. In the fridge, once the jelly's set, you cut it into 15 slices, and it's 3 grams of fat per serve, and I think your family are going to love it. It's so good. Now, it says on that it's not suitably frozen because I don't think the jelly would work well frozen, but we have never had it in the house long enough to think we have to freeze it, to be honest, because our family just love it. And interesting, the kids love it. You'd think it's more lemony, that maybe kids wouldn't like it. They do. All right, so it's bubbling away. So let's make some magic here. Here we go. I'll just get my scraper, and all you have to do now is pour the sauce over. Look at that, folks. Oh, Mum, you've got a great recipe here that's going to be handed down. Can you hand it down to your kids and call it face slice? She used to love coming on the shows with me when I was doing, the breakfast shows, Kerry Ann, all them. Oh, she loved it. She'd always be there with me, chatting everybody up. She was fabulous. I miss her to death. All right, so here we go. Just spread it around so it's all even. And that's it. That is the lemon jelly slice. It will now go in the fridge. What I'll do is when it's set, I'll take some photos, but really it will look just like this. So that's what it will look like. You'll have the cake base on the bottom and then you've got the jelly on the top. Now remember, as I said, you could do it with half lemon, half passion fruit, or the whole lot passion fruit, especially if you've got them growing, otherwise they'll cost a fortune. I mean, when you look at this slice, how perfect for the greatest morning tea, and who knew weight loss could be so deliciously healthy, offering something so fabulous. So here's our slice. Now, next week, I have got some really great recipes for you as well. So Tuesday, the recipe is up on the website. You can download it now. It's sticky Chinese prawns. Oh my gosh, they are fabulous. I love, 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 love them. You eat them with your fingers if you can because they're just so scrumptious. They're in the Cooking for 1 or 2 book, but I love them also as an entree. You know what I mean? But super easy. So look, get the recipe, come play with me on Tuesday, buy the ingredients and let's make it together. And then also next Thursday, I've got another fantastic recipe. Do I think I say that every week? My recipes are fabulous. Okay, so it's going to be the fancy chicken curry. It is such a great way to enjoy curry. That's just a milder curry. It's not one of those ones that's going to make your eyelashes fall off because it's so hot. And it's a little fun and fancy. That's why it's called fancy. And it's out of book 7. So let's make that next Thursday. So if you would like any more recipes or tips, you know where to find me at simplytoogood.com.au. Now, if you want to win, hello, you know what you got to do. If you want to win book 1, who wouldn't want to win it? If you don't have it, you're missing out. Best lasagna and chicken pizziola is in that book. So what you do is you like, you share, and then in the comments, hashtag Sim with a Y, simply too good. So if you put that in the comments, then you go in the draw to be picked, hopefully, to win a cookbook. So thanks for joining me, and you have an awesome week, and I'll catch you on Tuesday. Bye now. Yeah.